The Company Man Review. Like and subscribe for even more of my content. Hey Switchheads, Kanan here, hope you're all well, and let's get on with it. So, fighting your way up the ladder in a company is never an easy thing, and this is made even more difficult when some complete a-hole, tricks you into breaking a lever. Yes, I know. And from this one single act you get demoted, and then have to fight, literally, your way back up. The Klingon way. Kapla, Switchheads! Armed with your trusty keyboard sword, a dash that can be used to get to otherwise unreachable ledges and the like, and even other weapons added as you actually defeat the bosses. As you play through the game, you soon discover that this old school platformer seems to do a lot of things right. The style is very old school, as I said, and has its own feel to it. Animations really did feel fun, like chugging down the coffee to replenish your health and then wiping your mouth afterwards. It kind of almost reminded me of Monkey Island, kind of like that feel to it, but without the point and click and, with more jumping and platforming and, not forgetting, the killings. The enemies seem fun, kind of, if you like, and diverse, all with their own quirks. Fire breathers, ones that look like they're committing suicide, weirdly enough. And there's always that dick in the office who likes to swing around on their chairs. And there's even a shop where you can buy extra stuff for coins, but they don't call it the overpriced coffee shop for nothing, you know. Everything is actually quite expensive. So much so that my first visit there, I couldn't even purchase anything. Although the style was really good, I only had one negative, and that was basically sometimes the colour palette kind of like merged with like things that levers and all that you had to interact with, and sometimes I kind of discovered that I couldn't see the lever straight away, so I was bouncing around trying to look for one when it was right in front of me. Just very well blended in with the background. Not really a major problem, but just felt a little bit annoying at times. All that said, the game can actually be quite funny, and the banter has its own way of, funny and sarcasticness about it. And I found myself a few times even smiling at what I was witnessing on the screen. Bosses. And yes, there's a few. And these are kind of like your normal boss type fights where you have to learn the patterns of the actual boss in order to defeat them. And at first I found it really difficult to do, and once you learnt that pattern, it got a lot easier. But you do have to learn those patterns though. Suppose I better mention the platforming, as it's a platformer. Well, this is a slight letdown. I mean, it's fine, really it is. The level designs are, fine. And as a whole, you'll be going through the game, finding these levers I mentioned before, pulling them and having them activate sort of like platforms that you can then go up or dash onto or whichever to get to other areas you couldn't reach before. Or these like moving platforms, if you like, and the same sort of thing with that. Only on these ones you normally get like enemies on them as well, and that adds a little bit more difficulty to just platforming. And this is all really, as I keep saying, fine. It's fine, it's okay. But unlike its style, it never really steps out of its comfort zone. And it all kind of seems to feel like variation of what's come before. But don't get me wrong, it is okay. But I guess the question is, would I have enjoyed the platforming if I didn't have the style and characters and almost comedy aspect that we have here? In fact, I'm just going to say it. No, I don't think I would have enjoyed it as much. The good. I really did enjoy this style and the way it all animates as well. The humour was funny, obviously. different weapons are always fun in any game, to be honest. The bad. It's, and I mean this on the actual platforming side only, okay. As in to say, I was actually expecting a lot more from this game after seeing it, and yeah, it was a little bit disappointing in the platforming side. The controls kind of needed a little bit more of a tweak, as there was times when, well, he just didn't react as fast as I wanted to, and I ended up dying a few times because of this. He wouldn't turn quite as smoothly or quite as quickly as you would want him to, and this was even more apparent when fighting bosses. The score. All said and done, it's a little bit hard for me to score, as I did want to continue playing the game, and I was having fun with the game, and I really did want to see what was coming next. But thinking back, this wasn't entirely because of the platforming aspects of the game, which is a little bit weird in a way. And for this reason, I'm going to give The Company Man a 3+ out of 5. I would definitely say that it's a little bit over average, and well, it was a great styled retro platformer, and it was just let down a little bit by its own platforming. And with that, what are your thoughts on The Company Man? Are you going to be picking up or not? And do you have any actual thoughts about it? Leave them down in the comments. That is, after all, where they belong. And as for my alternative, I'm going to be going for, as I normally do when a game has a demo, I'm going to suggest you go out and actually download the demo of The Company Man and try it yourself. See whether you like it, whether you actually want to be picking it up. And then maybe come back here and let us know whether you will actually be picking it up, and maybe if you agree with what I've said about the game. And also, if you fancy popping down in the comments and leaving your suggestion for an alternative, that would be also great. And it's always good to hear from you all. And with that, why not hit that like and subscribe button? I'm almost at that 1,000 mark. Come along, help me reach 1,000, and I'll try and do something, special for the occasion. I don't know what yet, but I'll try. Come and join us in our community Discord as well. It's always fun to chat to new people and like-minded people as well, because life is better when we switch together.